Also, right there. Oh, you could see it. Oh, I caught it. Julian, zoom in on this. He's got gloves on. Now, those are ceremonial gloves, but we wet them during the changing of the guard and while we're walking and guarding, because if they get too dry because of the material, it would be hard to manage the back of the M14. I'm going to back it up just a second, and you can see water dripping off of this hand right here. Pay attention to this hand right here. Yep. Yeah. See? You would never know that unless I told you. Oh, here we go. Got to get my kid on. Is that lame? I like it. Reacts. We're back, baby. All right, so I've been waiting for a long time to do this reacts. I might know a little bit about the subject matter. And the crazy thing about this is it doesn't change. Everything is the same. Since 1948, the same. Now, a lot of people confuse the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier with other unknown soldiers, and even the little nuances like the guard himself. People think that he or she is a Marine. This is done by the U.S. Army at Fort Myer, Virginia, the old guard. Now, I want to be honest with you guys because I had no interest in doing this particular job. And then I realized I needed to do something profound while I had the opportunity, and so I tried out for the Tomb of the Unknowns. I was there, made it through training, took me 9 months to earn my tomb identification badge, and I'm badge holder 470 out of, I believe, 600 or so tomb guards. If you're a tomb guard, because I know a tomb guard's watching this, leave it in the comments and I'll pin it. How many badge holders are there now? Now, I'm going to walk through this changing of the guard. It's about 9 minutes, and I'm not going to spill the beans on all the secrets. I can't do that, but I will tell you a lot about the history and the changing the guard and what's going on. Here we go. I'm excited. This is fun. It wasn't fun doing the job, trust me. That wool uniform, I used to sweat down that yellow stripe right here completely, and I would have to do a pant change every 30-minute rotation when I came down from the changing of the guard. But here we go. All right, what he's doing right now is in front of this crowd, he's facing down the mat. You see him right here. As he's facing down the mat, he's going from right shoulder to left shoulder arms. As we do that, when we go onto left shoulder, it's to keep the weapon in between the potential threat and the Tomb of the Unknowns. Let me just back it up a second because I just want to go over the history real quick. Right here is the Tomb of the Unknowns that holds the unknown soldier from World War I. This is old school. I actually have a piece of history that was a part of a wreath that accompanied the World War I unknown across the sea to be interred in Arlington National Cemetery. I have it in a plaque, and it is one of my favorite pieces of history that I was given to by the Arlington National Cemetery historian. In front, there's 3 crypts. Now, I might get this wrong out of the gate. I believe this is the Korean War, Vietnam in the middle, and World War II. The World War II and the Korea might be swapped over, but I know the middle is the Vietnam unknown. Now, the Vietnam unknown was disinterred in 1998 and identified through DNA testing as Major Michael Blassie, a U.S. Air Force pilot who was shot down in Vietnam. The family, I believe, was given the option of leaving him interred and dedicating the tomb. They decided to do a ceremony and remove his remains, which I was also on, and send him to his home state of, I believe, St. Louis, Missouri. I was on that ceremony before I went to the Tomb of the Unknowns as an 18-year-old private first class. Ooh, that's a little flare. So they kind of fast forwarded, but what he did do is count to 21 seconds right here and then walk down the mat. When he gets to the end, he takes 21 steps. He heel clicks, which is steel on his shoes that are still spit polished. When I was at the Tomb of the Unknowns, all of our TombGuard badges, our buttons, and our ribbons, thank God I only had an Army Achievement Medal, were polished with rouge on a rouge wheel. We use a polishing wheel to do it, and it was pretty intense. The buttons on our hat, all of the uniform was hand polished when I went through training, when it was hard, the last time it was hard. Now I think they use Stay Bright, which are just pre-polished medals and badges, but they still polish their shoes. So the obvious question is this rifle loaded? The answer is no. That M14 with the bayonet is a ceremonial rifle. Now, that rifle has been used since the M14 was issued in the Army, and the reason it's unloaded is because it's a ceremonial position. Although we do have the ability to quick react based on our ability to get inside the box, which is this green thing that I'll show you, and I'll even give you the secrets on what's in it. And also, there is an underground tomb quarters offset from the catacombs where we prep our uniforms. We learn our knowledge on history on Arlington National Cemetery that we have to know verbatim, word for word. I still have, I believe it's 26 pages of knowledge, and I don't remember any of it verbatim, but we have to memorize it. As a new guy, on average, you will be new for 7 to 9 months on your shift. We'll get into that a little bit later, but here we go. If I could just judge this guy real quick, his uniform looks squared away. We hand press and steam our uniforms, but he's looking good. He's looking sharp. Oh, by the way, my waist was that small when I was in the Tomb of the Unknowns. My waist is still 32, but my gut is like 56. Really cool. He's walking out of the tomb quarters, which are down here. And as he comes out, these people right here are basically, well, it's different. She looks like she's armed. That's new. This person right here is typically what I would be used to seeing, who has a walkie-talkie and they work in Arlington Cemetery. But her being armed is kind of different. Maybe they work for Arlington National Cemetery directly or they're Capitol Police, but that's awesome. This sign hasn't changed since I was there in 1998. I'm Asian, so I look like I'm 20, but I'm actually 75. Right here is his TombGuard identification badge, which you are given after you're awarded it in a ceremony that happens after your guard shift. This is a German badge. This is a infantryman's cord. He's a sergeant, obviously. He has an ARCOM, Army Commendation, Army Achievement Medal, Good Conduct, National Medal, and I don't know what that is right there. I can't tell. But this is the buffer. This leather buffer strap, I think it's a buffer strap. It might be buff strap, is part of the uniform for members of the 3rd Infantry Regiment. He is carrying a SIG. It probably is an M17 or M18 variant. But when I was at the Tomb of the Unknowns, we were carrying Beretta M9s. Now, we did, I believe, I might be lying here. I just don't remember. I believe we had loaded M9s or ammo down in the safe in the tomb quarters. Again, tomb guards out there, I'm obviously old, and it's been a while. Let me know. Also, right there. Oh, you could see it. Oh, I caught it. Julian, zoom in on this. He's got gloves on. Now, those are ceremonial gloves, but we wet them during the changing of the guard and while we're walking and guarding, because if they get too dry because of the material, it would be hard to manage the back of the M14. I'm going to back it up just a second, and you could see water dripping off of this hand right here. Pay attention to this hand right here. Yep. Yeah. See? You would never know that unless I told you. So apparently, when I was in, we wore aviator sunglasses, but I think they went to Oakley. I think I see the Oakley logo right there, which is pretty cool. Okay, just to correct myself, this is the Korean War unknown. This is the World War II unknown. And right here, this is the Vietnam Crypt, which is empty, and it was rededicated, I believe, to the men and women who served and died during Vietnam. I think that's what it says verbatim. Salute. I'm also paying attention to his uniform to see if I could identify any gigs that potentially you wouldn't recognize. It says, "Here rests in honor, glory, an American soldier, known only but to God." Now, I'll tell you this because I was both a tomb guard, the sergeant in the guard, meaning I did this job that he's doing right now, except I had an expert infantry badge, airborne wings, and a ranger tab. No offense to him because he could be squared away. I just don't see those badges on his uniform. Any MOS can try out for the Tomb of the Unknowns that's assigned to the old guard or the 3rd Infantry Regiment. Let me see if I can remember this. May I have your attention, please? No, sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The ceremony you're about to witness is the changing of the guard. In keeping with the dignity of this ceremony, it is required that everyone remain silent and standing. I think that's what he's about to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? I am Sergeant Davenport.
Oh, I forgot.
The 3rd Infantry Regiment.
United States Army.
Guard of Honor.
Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
This ceremony that you are about to witness is the changing of the guard. In keeping with the dignity of this ceremony, it is requested that everyone remain silent and standing. Thank you.
Okay, so everything moving forward is cues. There are a whole bunch of cues. If I see an obvious cue, I'll let you know. But it's all a very coordinated effort designed to demonstrate the honor, dignity, and respect that we have as displayed by our professionalism for those that sacrifice it all. And for sure, they sacrifice it all. Oh, this is a perfect caption of this box. This box hasn't changed. Wow, it's playing flashbacks to me. I have very intimate experiences in this box. Okay, so this little box right here has a telephone, has a spray bottle, and in this corner, you can't see it, but it has a mirror. So that's where we go during wreath laying ceremonies, just to get out of the way if we need to. I was on the wreath laying ceremony on Memorial Day with Bill Clinton, and I stood in this box. I saw a female Navy person, it's not a seaman, sea woman, whatever you guys call them. She passed out and hit the concrete pretty hard. Yeah. Oh, but we go in this box if we need to call down to the tomb quarters because something's going on, because there's somebody being too loud, disrespectful, or shady. If somebody is acting a fool, we do what's called break them off. It's literally what they call it, breaking them off. When we break somebody off, we come off our left shoulder and we go to port arms, and then we say, it is requested that you remain silent. I was going to say silent and deadly. That's not it. It is requested that you remain silent during this ceremony, or there's a myriad of things that you say. But depending on what they're doing, some people cross the ropes and just start wandering. Foreign tourists who don't understand volume just walk around and they're like screaming at each other. You'll have little kids coming underneath. I've had to escort little kids and hold them by the hand. It's pretty cute. And the tomb guards who are watching this can check my records. You can go down in the tomb guard headquarters and check these green log books from 1998 all the way to 2001 when I was there, and see all the walks I did and also how many I did and all the things that happened. Several instances of me breaking people off, and tomb guards do it all the time, especially when people are disrespectful. But yeah, that's what we use that box for. This thing right here standing in front of the crypts, this is a wreath stand for wreaths that are laid at the Tomb of the Unknowns. And any organization could apply with Arlington National Cemetery to lay a wreath in honor of something. Now, I'm trying to check the height of these guys. It looks like third release. There's 3 release based off height: first, second, and third. To be in the old guard, you have to be 5'10" or above as a male in the line units. There are exceptions because there's support personnel that could also try out for the Tomb of the Unknowns, and they're typically shorter. So I've seen a range of heights. I'm 6'1". On third relief, it was generally 5'10", and we did have a female when I was there, but a female height, 5'6". For males, 5'10" to 6'1", 6'2". Second relief is like 6'2" to 6'3". And then first relief is 6'4", the really tall guys. Obviously, right now he's doing the weapons inspection. It is a very well-coordinated event, and I know it like the back of my hand. I could do it right now if I had an M14. Actually, we could plug in a video of me doing it at the tomb quarters a couple years ago when I went down to visit. I think that video has like 60 million plus views. What's really funny about that video is a lot of people who commented on it or was like, who's this guy think he is? I'm like, I'm a former TombGuard. Once a TombGuard, always a TombGuard. I got the really crappy tattoo to prove it. It says freedom jisn't free because a tattoo artist didn't know I from J. Really squared away. Yeah, real crisp, real clean. Looks real good. Okay, so let me mark this right here. He's going to do an action that is sweeping down, sweeping up off the sling, looking at his hand. As he looks down and he comes up and looks back at you, he's going to drive the back end of the gun and flip it, and that's a cue for him to come up and hit it at port arms. So down, back, here, 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 flip, and then grab. Squared away. I don't even know what these ribbons are on this other guy's uniform. Oh, that's like a GWAT Expeditionary badge. He's going to go behind him and inspect him as well. Now, the question is, has anybody been inspected and turned back away? Yes, for sure. There are people that, new guys especially, let me just back up a second. I don't know if this guy has his badge. Nope, he doesn't have, he's not a badge holder. So he's trying to earn his badge. Now, during the summertime, we walk every 30 minutes during the summer, every hour on the hour during the winter, and the cemetery shuts down in the evening hours, and then we close it. Well, we still guard 24/7, 7 days a week, rain, snow, sleet, heat, since 1948. It's been done like that since 1948. If he has a gig and it looks jacked up, the sergeant of the guard will look at him and tell him, go downstairs and then fix whatever it is. And then he'll back up, he'll go out, go fix the gig, and then the sergeant will stand there at ceremonial at ease with his hands across his belt like this and then wait for him to come back up. Yeah, he has a SIG with wooden grips with a TombGuard identification badge right there. If any TombGuard can get me one of those, man, I don't know, I'd hook it up. He's going to sidestep him. Okay, you hear that? That's scraping. That is a cue. Not often identified. His shoes right here has metal like a horseshoe underneath his toe box, metal on the inner portion of his shoe, and then metal on the heel. So when he walks forward, he drags his foot, and that scrape is identifying for the walker that he is taking his steps. It is marks for heel clicks that will happen at the same time. This is the scabbard for the bayonet. This scabbard is polished by hand. The metal, at least when I was there, was polished by a rouge wheel, and we had to have that perfect. The leather was painted. We hand painted them, and everything on this was perfect. The average for me when I was a TombGuard for preparing my uniform was hours. We used to get off shift as new guys and polish shoes for hours.
That's the average. We got to press downstairs. We press our uniforms out. We steam them out with a steamer. We put all our little metals or whatever that we have on our uniform, and they have to be perfect. On the testing of a uniform, lint, like a piece of fuzz, is a gig on you.
The schedule is like a fireman schedule. It's a day on, day off, day on, day off, day on, and 4 days off all year round. And oh, and by the way, we still have to do our infantry common core task and skill sets. So we have to go to the field. We have to do EIB, Expert Infantry Badge. We have to do ruck marches. We have to still stay active with our regular job. It was the toughest job I've ever done in the military. but also the most satisfying.
Out.
Guards halt will be the next call. And then you will have 3 simultaneous heel clicks in sync. If the new guy screws this up, he's going to hear about it when he gets downstairs. Good. That is a very deliberate pace. 2, 3. Let me back that up. Watch his steps and then watch the movements of the TombGuard right here. Boom, 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 boom. Step, step, click, turn. Really good. So this is a badge holder right here, and this is a new guy. I can tell you right now, the new guy is crapping his pants. The first time that I went out and there was 1,000 people there watching me, a camera from CNN zooming into my face, nerve-wracking. But you get used to it. It's why I think I was a better Green Beret because of my time at the Tomb of the Unknowns. To be able to stand in all types of weather, rain, snow, sleet, and heat, bugs, bees bouncing off your sunglasses in between your eye, and not breaking your composure, breathing, controlling my stress, controlling the heat, the pain, you have to work through it all for these unknowns that gave it all. Pass on your orders. This is a normal thing in guard duty in the military. He says, pass on your orders. And the first guy says, post and orders remain as directed. The next guy will say, orders acknowledged.
Ready. Hey.
They're going to obviously salute the tomb before they do it.
Oh.
This is one of the hardest sync-ups because you can't really look out of your peripheral. You just don't have, he's not even doing it. This guy right here, he's not even looking at his peripherals. It's based off of instinct, and you have to practice it, and you have to be in cue with your relief. The relief might have, if you're short, 3, 4 badge holders and the rest are new guys, and then you're handling an entire rotation for 24 hours. So this is the hardest sync. Let's see how they do. No pressure. Don't screw this up, guys. Perfect. The next sync is going to be going back to port arms, flipping the rifle this way, and then slapping the side of the firearm with the sling and syncing it up. Let's see if that happens. I miss this. I miss it. This has changed. I don't know why it's changed, but it's changed. When we did that movement, we went pop, and then we went like this, and then bring it down, and then slap the bottom of the rifle. These guys just do an aggressive pop, but the pop is in sync. I like it. It's clean.
Oh! Ready! Hey! Pass on your orders. Hold and orders. Remain as directed. Order. Action. Go. Ready! Hey! Reset. Oh!
Really good. Clean. That new guy's good. He's a badge holder by now, but he's good. Or he was fired.
Right. Shoulder. Oh!
Oh, there are guys who go 9 months and then they don't pass their final test and they get kicked out. Also, if you have any misconduct, if you're insubordinate, if you're not squared away at any point, you're gone. I mean, the attrition level, I can't even articulate the attrition level. I went to TDY, basically 2 weeks of pre-training to get accepted at the tomb, and out of a group of 10 guys, I was the only guy who made it. And when I got to my relief, there were a whole bunch of guys that were already there that were new guys that didn't make it. Because it's being a new guy for 9 months. I mean, if you're not very smart like me, it takes 9 months. Some guys did it in 7 months.
Pose.
Step. Bam.
Right. Hey.
All of them got to click. Solid. That's what you like to hear. You don't want to go pop up.
Hard! Hard!
Really good guard change, guys. Proud to be an American and a former TombGuard. A couple rumors that you can't cuss, you can't drink, you can't do certain things, all a lie. But if you do drink, if you do cuss, you don't become a TombGuard. One, you don't have time. Your entire life for a year is immersed in this. And then when you're a TombGuard, your standard for everything has to be perfection. In fact, the Sentinel's Creed has a line in it, line 6, that says, my standard will remain perfection. And we all know that nobody's perfect, but if we strive for it, that's the goal. That's the objective. Guys, one of my favorite reacts. Oh my gosh. Brings me back. It gives me chills. Makes me emotional. One of the most impactful moments in my life was guarding the Tomb of the Unknowns. I remember my first walk. I remember my last walk. I remember the men. I remember the sacrifice. It also set me up before 9/11 for what I was about to experience for the next couple decades. I'm so proud to have served there. I'm proud of these men, and I'm proud to be an American. Till next time, guys. Peace out.